Hi, welcome back to Living with Autism. My name is Michael. Today we're going to start another series. We're going to have probably a couple of them going at different times. We're going to start another series called Different or Broken. Autistic people, are we different or are we broken? So I hope you join me for that. As I said, I want to start a new series really, some videos. I don't know exactly how far it will go, but it's called Different or Broken. And this comes from an idea that I've kind of had in my head. You might have heard this saying before, but there's a particular football manager, actually, YouTuber that I watch. Football Manager is a game that I watch, and I'm going to link him and his Football Manager channel, and also his vlog channel or his other talkie channel in the description. But he has a son who is autistic, and I remember him wearing shirts at times that he would say, and it says, "Different is not broken." And those words always sort of struck me, and I've always tried to come back to those because as an autistic person, I really struggle with this idea. Am I different or am I broken? There's this huge contradiction that I feel within myself, as well as what I hear from people around me. And you see, even when I had my diagnosis, the doctor who diagnosed me with level 1 Autism Spectrum Disorder. Sorry, my neighbors are kind of thumping around. I'm not sure what they're doing. But they diagnosed me with level 1 Autism Spectrum Disorder. At the same time, he's telling me that I'm not broken, that there's not really anything wrong with me, so to speak. And so it's like, well, which one is it, right? We talked about, I don't know if it was last video or a couple of videos ago, about all the money that's spent on trying to fix and cure autism instead of trying to help autistic people and understand them, help them live, help them in a world. Because a big part of that question, and different or broken, honestly, probably the final answer and the final verdict comes in, I don't know the answer, because at some level it's both. But because I think is the broken about being autistic, or is the broken about living in a world that just doesn't work for autistic people? I talked about the challenge that I have being left-handed and the way it just causes problems in a right-handed world, ways you don't even know. It's the same way as an autistic person, and I refer to myself that way as a specific way. I don't have autism. I don't have this bad condition of autism. I'm not on the spectrum. I'm not sure why that is even used. I'm sure there are probably people out there. I don't know anyone who is autistic who has ever referred to themselves in that way. But I'm autistic, and so I'm different, and I look at the world differently. And so that causes challenges when the world around me works differently. And so how do I deal with that? What do I do? And the personal struggles, there's this real personal struggle to be okay with yourself. Because before you can go out and say, hey, I want the world to understand who I am, I want the world to be okay with me, you kind of have to deal with it for yourself. And to be honest, that's a struggle that I still face. I don't know. Is there a point in time where I come and I'm completely comfortable in my own skin? I hope so. But there are unique challenges that I face as an autistic person. There's ways that small things go differently, and just a meltdown, a breakdown sort of happens. And probably most people around me haven't seen those kinds of things, because when you're in another environment, when you're out there in public, when you're with other friends and things, you're putting on this face. You're doing everything you can to look and feel and be normal. This is something that I did long before I understood that I was autistic. All the stuff you go through to try to be normal. But those things add up. And this not able to sort of be yourself in so many ways adds up and builds up. and this pressure that builds up, and there comes a point where it's just sort of at times all too much. And I remember it was not that long ago that for whatever reason there was a time and I was out of Diet Dr. Pepper, the smallest of things in some ways. And I remember just feeling like, I don't know, this is just too much. I was so frustrated. I was so upset. And I remember almost being like outside of myself. Like a part of me was just crumbling. And another part of me was looking and saying, what on earth, Michael, why can't you fix it? Can't you be normal? Can't you? I don't know. And so there are these challenges that go on. And so there are broken pieces of me. There are ways and things that I need to do things differently. But a big part of helping with that, I think that sort of meltdown, breakdown, frustration that happens, the struggles that come up when something goes, it's not a tantrum where I want my way. It's just this accumulation of all these things that are going on. But part of what I've done is allowed myself to be me a lot more. And a lot of people around you will try to, or me, whoever they are, they want you to be a certain way. They want you to be a way that they're comfortable with, that they can kind of put in a box and feel comfortable. But if you can't be comfortable with you, it's really taxing. And so I have a lot of people who have, when I've talked about my autism diagnosis, about being autistic, who've kind of said, oh, that's no big deal because, oh, look, this person and there, it's okay, and try to make light of it. And so not like laughing about it, but make it like it's not a big thing. And so, yeah, 90% of the time, maybe everything is fine and easy and or copable. But if I just constantly spend all this time trying to appear normal, trying to not show the brokenness that happens, trying not to react when difficult situations come, including myself in conversations, going to people's houses, doing all these things that maybe you could do before the craziness of the world happened. And of course you still can in some ways, but just the challenges, but all these just constantly trying to look and be normal, and it just adds up. And so you get in a place where you're sort of by yourself. A lot of times, unfortunately, your family might be around to experience it. And it's just because all kinds of stuff can trigger so many things. Noise. I remember sitting here and my kids and my wife are talking and the music is going and all this stuff. And I'm just sitting there plugging my ears as hard as I can to try and block it all out, not wanting to say, hey, you guys, I need you to stop being so happy. And not that I need them to stop being so happy, but they're just being happy and everything is noisy, and I just couldn't take it anymore. And so there's these struggles. How do we live? How do we deal with each other? How do we work together? Because my being an autistic person, it creates challenges. Lights and sounds and touch and all these things. I could be just sitting there and someone might put their hand on me and it might feel like I just got slapped in the face. All these things are hard, but yet, what do I do? Can my kids not be kids? Can my wife not enjoy herself and have fun? Could they not listen to music? How do we live and how do we work? And there's a lot of those times where that different feels broken, and it feels these challenges, these struggles just feel paralyzing. Not just paralyzing in the sense that I can't do anything because all this chaos, but like I have all this chaos. And so now what do I do? Because I feel broken because I need something different, and yet these people are just around me. They're not doing anything wrong. And so this is a challenge. But at the same time, there's that other side. And that's the side that I have to look at and see. And there are some amazing strengths. And that's what helps say, no, I'm not broken, just different. Because there are amazing strengths that autistic people have. And normally the strength I think that people think of when they think autistic or when they look at me is about intelligence. High-functioning autistics are often quite intelligent, and we've seen Rain Man, and we've seen maybe The Good Doctor, right? And you have these people with savant syndrome, which how many people have that? But there's this idea like, you're so smart, right? I was, when I did my diagnosis, part of that is an IQ test. I took this whole diagnosis, this whole IQ test in Spanish, and came out with a 145 IQ. So I'm smart, and I'm not here to brag about myself. It's like uncomfortable to talk about, because either you feel like people feel like you're saying, oh, I'm so smart and you're so dumb or something, or you get this idea where everybody's like, oh, ask Michael, he has all the answers. It's just like a life cereal, you know. Give it to Mikey, he'll eat it, he eats anything. Ask Michael, he knows everything. And so maybe people don't think that, maybe they don't even say that, but that's sometimes the feeling that you get. And so what the idea of autistic people's strength, I think sometimes is missed. And so we're running out of time here, but I want to leave you with what I think is one of, and I can't classify everybody together, because not everybody, some people may be high-functioning autistic savants. Some people may have 145 IQ. Some people may just be average, ordinary people in IQ-wise, but other things are going on. And so see, we all have strengths and weaknesses. But one of the strengths that I see in autistic people, one of the things that I love about autistic people when you look, is their ability to understand others. And it's kind of funny, because you think autistic people, right? We can't read people sometimes. We miss things sometimes. We're not sure trying to understand situations. I see people that, don't know if a person's ready to laugh or punch them in the face. And I don't know that I struggle that much, but there's this whole range. But one of the things that does happen, because we live in this world where everything is different, where so many people are so different from us, we have to struggle to understand. And so we're spending so much time like, what are they saying? Why did they say it? What do they mean? And because of that, I think one of the strengths that as an autistic person that we can have, that I feel that I have, that I try to figure out how to use in the right way, is to really understand people. If I can get past all the struggles, if I can get past the challenges, if I can get past those things, how can I use this gift that has been developed and nurtured through years and years of trying to understand people, of wanting to know how people think, because I want people to know and care how I think, right? Taking this and using that and having this sort of superpower, as my wife might call strengths sometimes, to help other people. And so really that's the thing. We all have strengths and weaknesses. An autistic person might struggle with meltdowns and might have a talent at reading people, understanding people, because of how much energy they've put into it. But they may have totally different strengths and may have totally different weaknesses. Intelligence can be a strength, but sometimes it's also a challenge in life. I think the bird clock is going off. I hope you don't hear that. I thought I had it quiet, but it seems to be going off. We have a clock that makes bird noises on the hour. But as a non-autistic person, if you're watching, you have strengths and weaknesses, and they're different than mine. And they're probably different than a lot of other non-autistic, neurotypical, as they call them, people. And so that's really what's important. Instead of in what I want in myself. Instead of trying to look and say, hey, is this different? Is this broken, right? What's broken about this? What's broken about that? What's broken about autistic? What's broken about this or that? Or what's different, even worrying about difference. Let's embrace our differences. Let's look to the things that are different about us. Be understanding where they cause struggles, where they cause challenges, and be open to the exciting possibilities that they can open up, the new doors that can be opened up because of the diversity, because of the ways that we look at things, the health that can bring to each and every one of us, while when we have multiple perspectives to balance, to see things another way. And so I hope I haven't rambled on too much. I have these bits of notes, but where am I going to go? I don't know, because I just want this to sort of be a chat, but I don't want it to be here, there, and everywhere. So I hope it was focused, and I hope that you saw something that encourages you, that helps you in your life. You might be autistic, you might not be autistic, you might have any range of different things that are going on in your life. But learn to be okay with your differences, to understand that there are differences, manage those differences and when there are challenges so that they're not a disaster for you or the people around you, but then also look and find the ways that you're different that can be positive. Embrace those things that are positive and positively different about you and about the world around you, about others around you. And if we do those things, if we look to seek to understand others, I think the world will be a better place. Well, I look forward to seeing you again next time. I hope you are encouraged through this. Until next time, take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.